a boy standing in front of a small stream. "Don't cry! Don't cry! Come here, come here!" Children laughed and shouted at him. "Oh, what should I do? If I fail to cross the small stream, I'll be covered with mud from head to toe. I may even get hurt. Scary, scary." He worried that he may fail. But at last, he started to run. Ah! He made it! Wow! The children were excited and ran through an open field like the wind. This boy was Kazuo Inamori. Kazuo's father made paper bags from home to make a living, and his mother helped her husband. They worked hard without days off. His father seemed very busy making bags and taking care of Kazuo's uncle as well. His uncle had tuberculosis. 70 years ago, doctors did not know how to cure this disease, and it was said that once you had tuberculosis, you would certainly die of it. In order to protect himself from the disease, Kazuo would hold his breath when passing near his uncle's room. Even with his precaution, when he was just 13 years old, he got tuberculosis. "Just like my uncle, I'll get thin, throw up blood, and die." He was very scared. At that time, Japan was at war with the US and China. This is called the Second World War. Planes with bombs flew to the town Kazuo lived in, and his home burnt in an air raid. As there was no other choice, Kazuo's family moved to a safer place. Because he could not make paper bags there, his father brought seawater, heated it, and made salt. He could offer it in exchange for sweet potatoes or flour dumplings. "Toshinori and Kazuo, give me your hands." Kazuo and his elder brother worked very hard. Miraculously, his tuberculosis disappeared when he survived the air raids. The war ended. Kazuo went to private school because he could not pass the entrance exams for public schools because of his disease. It was natural to work, and it was this way too for Kazuo's family, because they were poor. As the school system changed, almost all of the students in his class went to high school. Kazuo wanted to do so as well. The teacher in charge of his class supported him. Kazuo asked his father to let him go to high school many times, and finally, he allowed his son to do so. Kazuo, now a high school student, helped a lot with his family's work. He sold as many paper bags as he could possibly bring on his bicycle down. When he sold a lot of paper bags, he would rush home in order to see his family smile. Kazuo had a dream of becoming a doctor, but he could not pass the exam of the university he wanted to go to. Although his family objected, he went to a university and graduated. However, he could not find a job. His professor worried and introduced a company to him. It was almost failing and not paying wages on the due dates. Kazuo felt sorry, but he decided to work hard and make the company better again because I joined it. He stayed in a lab with pots and electric cookers to study new ceramics. "I made the new product. Next, I will develop a ceramic tube." However, although he put all of his efforts into making the tube, and just as it was nearly completed, his boss told him, "You cannot do it. You're removed from this project now." Kazuo got very angry. "I'll leave the company then," he shouted. Many people supported Kazuo to launch his own company. Some of them even gave him money. Colleagues of the company that he'd worked for told him, We'll leave the company too. We will follow you, Mr. Inamori." This was the beginning of Kyocera Corporate. Kazuo was 27 years old. When he had orders, Kazuo told everyone how the ordered parts worked and how to make them until all of them understood. They knew, no pain, no gain. If the company fails, we will have nothing to live on. They worked very hard to make the company successful in a year. The parts they made were used by a spacecraft built in the Apollo program, the grand project by the United States to send humans to the moon. Kyocera took part in it. One day, Kazuo had orders from IBM, a famous company that produced computers. They asked him to make 25 million parts. Making them required highly advanced skills. Even so, IBM asked him to do it because they believed he could. He worried whether he could make the parts. Contrary to his worry, however, he also thought, "Kyocera will be internationally recognized if we can complete the work." Everyone worked hard till late at night every day. "I cannot maintain a uniform temperature in the electric oven by any means." Some of them cried and shook with disappointment. Even so, they were absolutely sure they could succeed and repeated testing over and over. They worked hard for 2 years without New Year and Bon holidays. At last, they were successful at making the parts. Banzai! Completing the work for IBM led to a rush of orders, and Kyocera grew very rapidly. The company had a wonderful reputation all over the world. In 1980, it opened a California office, and then several others all over the United States, Germany, Mexico, China, India, Vietnam, and so on. Kyocera became global. Kazuo's desire was realized. Kazuo believed, "I did not make it by myself." Many people supported him. A teacher that took him where his entrance exam was held when he had tuberculosis. A professor that encouraged him by saying, "You will be a wonderful engineer." Kind people that gave him money to launch Kyocera, and employees of the company that worked very hard and believed in him. "I would like to do something for everyone all over the world in return," he promised. There is plenty of work Kazuo did for everyone all over the world. One was making a solar battery. Because Japan lacks resources, I'm sure the solar battery will be necessary. Kazuo continued to study it, even when the company was in danger. As a way of preventing global warming, the residential solar battery that was first sold in Japan continues to be popular. Next, he used ceramics to make artificial bones. They are tough and not easily affected by rust like metal, so they can help individuals recover from an injury. "I feel as if I had my legs again," a woman that lost her legs smiled. An asteroid explorer called Hayabusa uses the parts made by Kyocera for a battery of the probe. The company plays a part in space development. Above all, the most challenging was the launching of KDDI, a telephone company. In Japan, there was only one for 100 long years. It cost 9 times more than in the United States to use a telephone, even though everyone needed one daily. If the telephone was cheaper, it would help everyone. Kazuo wanted to launch a new telephone company. He asked himself every day if the motive for launching a new telephone company is good and not selfish. And still, he was determined. When it was allowed to launch new telephone companies, he raised his hand. Presidents of various companies agreed with and supported him. KDDI helped everyone by lowering the cost to use a telephone. It was also Kazuo that saved Japan Airlines from total failure. He was asked by the Japanese government to reconstruct the company. He decided to accept it for the staff, the nation, and Japan. To his surprise, however, the staff had no sense of crisis. He told every member of the staff what attitude to have towards work. He ate only a rice ball for dinner that he bought at a convenience store. He spent all his days like this in order to reconstruct Jiao. Kazuo talked with and showed his effort to work with members. They were moved and began to think, "We will work hard too." Like this, Kazuo encouraged every member of the company to be determined. Japan Airlines is a wonderful company now. Kazuo wanted to help everyone all over the world, so he created the Inamori Foundation and the Kyoto Prize. This prize gives money to people like scientists, engineers, philosophers, artists, and so forth that completed great work. The prize started in 1985. So far, it has been given to over 100 people. In the first awards ceremony, Queen Sylvia of Sweden was invited to give the Nobel Foundation a special prize. Prize winners come to Kyoto, Japan from all over the world and are awarded there. Seiwajuku, Kazuo's private management school, attracts over 10,000 presidents of small and medium-sized enterprises. They want to listen to his speeches. They ask him questions and tell him their opinions. Through these, they learn how to manage their companies. "This is good, and you can improve this if you..." He tells them how to manage because they don't know what to do to improve their companies. His volunteer service includes the activities of Seiwajuku and is now expanding across the world. Everyone all over the world pays attention to him as a leader and an entrepreneur. Even during his hard times, he remained determined, gave up nothing, and continued to make efforts. This brought Kazuo Inamori a wonderful future. You will shoulder the 21st century. Kazuo hopes that you realize the power of being determined to help everyone all over the world. What you are determined to do always comes true because everyone has the ability without any limit.